Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2. We have got the second matchup of these two teams here, as we are already quite far into the draft. No bonus time used just yet for either of the team. They knew what they wanted. But this is, of course, the first round, so the round of 16 for the AMD Premier League Season 2 playoffs. We are seeing Mufc, a team that got invited, taking on Tell Me Why, a team that made it through the group stages, through the qualifiers, if I may say so. And we'll see who takes the second game. Of course, first game taken by Mufc, who was the favorite to take it all to begin with. But let's see if Tell Me Why can put up a fight and can at least force out a third game. For this matchup, I will not be by myself. There is actually two people that have joined me since last game. So we have got a statsman for you. Music will be providing you with inside information about these two teams, about what they're playing, and how they're playing it, and such things. And I will have a co-caster as well. Skim will be here as my co-caster. Welcome back.
And thanks for having me once more. Glad to be back. Yeah, I watched game one. It was actually kind of one-sided.
It was, but it's like it wasn't a stomp.
It wasn't, yeah.
It was
definitely
one-sided, yes, but it wasn't a stomp at least. So that's something that Tell Me Why can be happy about. I think if they have more heroes that can maybe do more mid-game, they might have a better chance. I mean, Queen of Pain got destroyed mid. Got killed off twice already before anything really happened, and yeah, that kinda was a problem.
Yeah, it really was. It really was. I also think it kind of forced the gyrocopter to go something like Shadow Blade early on, because he really needed to deal out a bit more damage at the beginning. And usually you generally want the BKB first, I think, especially in that lineup with Nyx Assassin, Rubik, Luna, a lot of burst damage. So yeah, it kind of spiraled out of control at some point because, yeah, as you mentioned, Queen of Pain didn't get too much.
Yeah, let's see if they maybe are able to do something better this game. They are up against a team that they had previous time. So the Shadow Demon and the Darkseer picked up Mufc this time. We're on the side of Tell Me Why previous game. Alchemist and Nyx Assassin for Tell Me Why. The bans for Mufc were the same with the Treant and the IO banned out. Tell Me Why banning out the Bat Rider instead of the Alchemist in the first round, but still banning out the Visage, and were able to pick up the Alchemist themselves. There's a Dragonite Lifestealer, both were banned out in the previous game as well, with a lot of Nature being banned out by Mufc, now also Lone Druid and Nature's Prophet. And that will mean maybe a bit less split push or push potential coming for Tell Me Why, but we'll see what they'll end up going for. Mufc has got the first pick, so let's see what they're going to be combining up with the Shadow Demon and the Darkseer. Are they also going to have a Gyrocopter and a Queen of Pain? No, they're not. Never mind that. They're going to go for the Lina, so that's the follow-up disable on the Shadow Demon. At least the support duo is complete.
Yeah, and last game around, MFC had really nice rotation coming out from both supports. They helped out the mid a lot, ganked them at least once, twice, or 3 times even. I think with Shadow Demon and Lina, of course, it's much easier, and MFC could even go aggressive tri-lane. So looking forward to that because, yeah, I think aggressive tri-lane is always really exciting to look at. And Tell Me Why, technically they can put up a tri-lane themselves. They could also pick up another support like a Leshrac maybe. It's also a nice follow-up stun on the Impale, so they have some potential here as well. But Nyx Assassin and Alchemist could actually also be run on the mid lane. Alchemist mid is actually really popular in Asia right now, or has been. Yeah,
it definitely has a lot of options for Tell Me Why. I mean, Nyx Assassin also a hero that you never really for sure know if he's going to be that support. Nyx Assassin also sometimes played in the mid lane, and Clockwork, same story there, even though in Asia not so favored as a support, but can be mid, can be off lane, still a lot of potential there. Deciding to go for the Clockwork in the end. I'm not really convinced about the Clockwork. I mean, it's nice and they needed an offlaner, so I guess that's their call. But you've got a Darkseer, so you can vacuum more people into cogs if you want to. For example, on the MUFC side, MUFC can definitely make use of having the Clockwork there on the opposing side, because you also have got yourself the Light Strike Array AoE stun on the Clockwork, can't really get away from that one. So definitely something that Tell Me Why has to watch out for. But MUFC, let's see what they are going to pick up for, and they are going to go for a Kunkka. Now that is a pretty sight. We could see an aggressive trial, and we could still also see the Kunkka mid, as we have seen that quite often before.
Yeah, some sort of maybe 2 dual lanes, put the Shadow Demon Kunkka mid, and then Lina babysit another carry on the safe lane. That's kind of common these days. But yeah, I like this pickup a lot. I think the Kunkka is actually quite a good hero, and with a vacuum from the Darkseer, it's a really big team fight combo. I mean, vacuum into ship into torrent. That's a lot of burst damage, and if MEFC pick up something like a Luna or a gyrocopter with a lot of burst damage to add to that, that's going to be a hell of a team fight.
Yeah, and it looks like MUFC was on the right path with pushing power banouts. They are up against the Chen now, so one of the heroes that still had push. And you know, I like every one of these heroes separately, but I don't really see the synergy just yet. Like, what do these heroes have that make this lineup tick? And pun intended, because there's a clockwork. But I'm thinking that last pick has to kind of bind them all together, maybe in some way or another. We have got, of course, I mean, we've got carry potential in the Alchemist. You've got the Impale to maybe set up for an unstable concoction, which is great. You've got your clockwork to go for your mid game. You've got your Chen that starts pushing, but the Nyx Assassin is the only one that can really pair up with anybody else, and that's because Nyx Assassin basically pairs up with anything.
Yeah, I agree. Tammy Y's lineup so far kind of looks like, okay, I want this hero, you want this hero. It really doesn't feel like they have a lot of synergy. I mean, there's some teamfight potential with the Clockwork, the Alchemist, and the Chen, but then again, there's some sort of gank potential with Nyx Assassin and Clockwork as well. Let's see how they're going to play it out. And Tammy Y smartly banned out the Gyrocopter. I think they can't really give it away to MUFC, but there's still a lot of pickups that they can do. And again, as you mentioned, MEFC, they can also run an aggressive tri-lane. I think that makes them really strong right now, because they're really, really unpredictable at this point.
I agree. And, well, in terms of saving people on the side of Tell Me Why, you've got your long-range Impale, but that's it. And there's just melee heroes on that side of the map, and maybe if Chen comes out of the jungle, it might be able to do something, but I think aggressive tri-lane is really able to punish Tell Me Why hard for their lineup, depending on which hero they go for mid, because their mid hero kind of needs to be the one to bring it. We have got a Weaver pickup, so we could in theory see a Weaver mid and then still the aggressive tri-lane with a Kunkka, or maybe the aggressive tri-lane with a Weaver has been done before as well. And it's looking scary. I have to say, the previous draft for Tell Me Why it looked a lot stronger than this one, but we'll see if this, I mean, if it is indeed like, which one do you want to play, and they just pick up their strongest heroes, it's still a possibility that they are able to make something happen with it. If these are their signature heroes, they're, you know, the ones that they perform best on.
Yeah, I agree. At some point, you kind of want to rely on your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And if that comfort zone is really just relying on maybe even individual skill and then coming together and doing well in team fights, then it really doesn't matter all too much what kind of heroes you have. And I mean, Nyx Assassin and Clockwork, as I mentioned, can still be really gank-heavy heroes, and Alchemist as well if he picks up an early Shadowblade. So maybe Tammy Y want to go in that route, and they pick up a Puck. So either Nyx or Clock will be support, most likely the Nyx though.
Yes. And a lot of pressure on that Puck in the mid game, depending on how the other lanes do. We'll see how Puck does. In theory, you should be able to stay alive against anybody here that is on the side of MUFC if they go into the mid lane, which looks to be Kunkka, picked up by FC. So we'll see. Of course, Ordi in the Twitch chat, you were able to vote, ! Vote, and then the team of your choice. It is case sensitive, so for MUFC it was capital letters, and I think also for TMY, also capital letters. So make sure you type ! Vote. You typed it wrong, Skim, just saying.
Oh, really? !
Vote and then the team name.
Oh, damn it.
It's
I'm not gonna vote anymore.
Oh, well, we'll see. We'll see how these two teams do here, because of course we are inside the game. You are watching the AMD Premier League. It is the second season. It is the round of 16. One of these two teams will move on to the quarterfinals. The other one will get left behind because it is a single elimination. You only have one best out of 3 chance. MUFC on the right path, but taking the first game. Let's see if Tell Me Why can force out a game 3. Would be something that I would like to see, to be honest. Purely because I like to see more games. It's just very simple.
you always want to see 3 games, ideally.
I mean,
or 5, depending if it's best of 5, but yeah.
I mean, it makes for the better series as well. Though the one thing is sometimes there is a best out of 3 that is 2-0, and then one of the teams was so close that it just feels like 2-0 is not deserved. Like it should be 2-1 purely based on performance, but
Yeah, I agree.
we'll see how MUFC does here. Of course, we're gonna have Kunkka played by FC. Will be roaming to the middle lane. Too Fucking Good or TFG will be on the Darkseer on the off lane. It will be scrutinized on the Weaver. And it will be, I guess that's Huntress player, by the way.
Yeah, it's Hunter's player or WTF.
Yeah. Or it will be Winter on the Shadow Demon. And Ling playing the Lina. So that is everybody on MUFC, and I'll leave Tell Me Why for you.
Yeah, on the Radiant side is BZ on the Alchemist on the safe lane. In the jungle will be Upper in playing as the Chen. In the mid lane, as expected, the Puck played by Jaxel. The Nyx Assassin support as well, no CSM. And on the off lane, it's the stand-in KYT on the Clockwork. And looks like it will be an aggressive tri lane after all with the Weaver.
Yep, and we have a nice center ward place for one of the big camps, and also the Magic Bush warded. So there's not that many places that the Chen can hope to find creeps, as the invisibility rune gives Ling a bit of a vision over what Upper is planning to do. Maybe seeing his reactions like, oh my god, there's no creeps, where can I find creeps? He's gonna try to go find creeps on the other path.
Yeah, at some point he might even go.
Oh, they're actually gonna go for him. There was one stun, there will be a disruption as well. Allow them to position a little bit better. He tries to walk the other way. I think this is gonna be first blood. Another light strike array. There's your first blood. 2 supports power here in the house. Ling picks it up on his Lina. And that's the start of an aggressive tri lane that is not gonna be fun for Tell Me Why.
Yeah, Upper, his impact in this game will be delayed quite heavily. I mean, his jungle has been blocked almost completely. Only thing left is a small camp and the ogres. Well, 2 small camps. Oh, another engagement.
Yeah, there goes your disruption, followed up by Light Strike Array. In comes the stun from the Alchemist, though, able to throw out some harassment up on Winter, which is nice, and it does distract the attention away from the Nyx Assassin, so he doesn't go down. We've got a disconnect on Upper. He thinks, you know what, I can't find anything in the jungle. Screw this game, I'm out.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it, but nah, he's back.
He does have sentries, though.
Yeah, he has sentries, but oh yeah, he does. Yeah, so he should be able to deal with this, but please don't block your own camp with that. I've seen it happen.
No pressure. He's gonna place it up the high ground.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's still another 20 seconds though until he can find a creep, so it's too bad for this Chen. But at least something going now his way.
Yeah, at least he will be able to do something rather than nothing at all, which is always better. In the meantime, middle lane, we have got, of course, the matchup that should be favorable for the Puck. And he's actually gonna try to go for it. He doesn't have enough mana for... Oh, one more hit! He can do it! He kills him! FC dies in the middle lane. Puck, the one that I said at the start, would have a lot of pressure to perform well, already starts off with getting ahead in terms of kills. 8 for 4 on the last hits, with Kunkka sitting on 6 for 0, so last hit difference not that much. But with this kill, Puck having a great start.
Yeah, and usually Kunkka is really good in mid because he can harass with his Tidebringer, but of course Puck can evade the damage from the Tidebringer by just phase shifting. So this matchup is actually quite favorable for the Puck. In addition, he's ranged and deals a lot more damage, or deals damage. Oh, bottom lane.
They're gonna go in again. Looks like everybody gets out safely though. The Soul Catcher was up on the Nyx Assassin, while the Disruption was up on the Alchemist, I believe.
Yep.
To kind of split it there. And there's the poll results. It looks like the poll results of GGNet, of GoSubet. It's a shame that I only see the 8. I don't know how many 80 people vote. I don't think it was only 8 votes though, but of course it was 80-something% and 90 or 81% and a 19% going the way of Tell Me Why. I support those 19%. I think it's very brave that they went for the underdogs.
I agree. Always go for the underdogs. That's easy rares, but depending if they actually make it.
Yeah. That's kind of mandatory, I guess. Oh, X marked the spot. Nope. Silence is there. It looks like he's gonna go again. FC! Is he dying again? No, this time he'll stay alive. Barely, though. Goes for a torrent. Can't find the Puck, though. And that's gonna be Puck safe. Should be safe.
Yeah.
But he also should be having his bottle soon. Courier's already bringing it. Ah,
Bottle
there we go.
crank, that's nice. Yeah, 15 people. Well,
Shout out to those 15 people.
shout out to them.
I actually think that maybe the maybe the Clockwork was able to go for the it's a bottom rune, by the way, being kept safe by the Shadow Demon. But maybe the Clockwork could have gone for the flare and helped kill off the Kunkka, but
He actually tried to use it to scout out, I think. Or he shot it to the bottom lane, I think.
Ah.
Something along those lines, so...
shame. Oh, he's charging up his stun. BZ looking for that Weaver, finds the stun, but gets stun up himself. Nice impale coming off from the Nyx Assassin though, but nobody goes down here in the end. It is 1-for-1. And the aggressive trial lane by MUFC, I mean, they're still winning this lane quite heavily in terms of last hits. I mean, Hunter's players got 21 for 6, while BZ has only got 9 for 1, so yeah, it's going good for MUFC. Disruption here, Light Striker Ray won't be there in time, but I think it could go a lot worse also for the Radiant side, and so far, doing okay-ish.
Yeah, it's really a shame that they shut down the Chen so early on, because if they had a Chen here with like useful creeps and not the Wildkin he has right now, he could actually help out this lane a lot.
Did
They
you
have
just
a lot of
flame the
killing
Wild
potential.
King?
Yes,
Oh.
I did.
That's
He's a
shame.
bird that... He's quite nice actually to send
He
towards
is
the
a
mid
king
lane.
bird though, the Wild King.
He is, and I like his texture model a lot more than the others, but in general, he's quite useless when ganking, basically.
Well,
So,
it's a
sorry,
shame.
sorry, King of Birds, but yeah, if he had something more useful like a satire or a troll, they could actually go for a kill here because I think they have quite a bit of potential.
Yeah, and especially because MUFC plays it so very aggressive. They try to go every time.
Exactly.
They try to go for disruption. I have to say, they're looking good on mana and HP though, so it won't be easy for sure. Even if they do find that momentum, but we'll find out in the meantime. Still the pressure up on the Puck, who's now level 7, up against the level 6 Kunkka, so getting ahead very far. 20 last hits on the Kunkka, 27 on the Puck, who is just having a good old time there. But it looks like we are going to see Kunkka getting some help, because Ling and Winter rotate, and they will be trying to look for maybe a pickup on the Puck. Puck is not a very easy hero to gank though, especially not if he has an invisibility rune, which he will have.
Yeah, he's already. I think it's really hard to get a kill on a Puck, even if you have the Shadow Demon and Lina combo. But if he has an Invis rune, yeah. Oh, they're not even trying it. They're
Nope.
going top lane, and they really need to help out top lane because Clockwork is winning that lane pretty hard.
Clockwork sitting on 41-10, with Too Fucking Good sitting on 25-0, which is quite surprising actually. We have TPs coming mid though. They want to try and take down the Kunkka. There is also the Clockwork hero hook shot in, and that's gonna be FC dead again. And also, of course, the gank failed top because Clockwork rotated for that one.
Yeah, this was a really good timing for him. And bottom lane though has to be a bit careful. Now they know, okay, he is completely by himself. He's not level 6 yet, so they could maybe look for something, but nah, no, not trying. They don't have any sentries either, so...
And they need to Chen for that if they really want to go for it. Oh, they go for the Impale, they get it at least. But just a harassment, nothing more. And the push continues on the top lane. Support still setting out of line of sight though. They're very careful. Now they show himself. Ling shows himself, and that means the Shadow Demon is always nearby. But Tamer Wild, considering the lanes, considering the aggressive trial lane, they're doing very well. They're winning both solo lanes, or they were anyways. Until the tower went down on the top lane, which is gonna happen sooner rather than later.
And I think with a hero like a Clockwork, it's really important, or it can be a complete game changer if you win your lane. I mean, something like a Puck, I think, can still somewhat turn around a team fight. But if you get ahead on a Clockwork, it's going to be a huge deal, because if you get like a mech, a pipe, obviously Chen is going for the mech, but you can still go for something like... Even the Force Staff would be really useful, or the Aghanim Scepter, of course, early on would be really nice. So they have to look out for that. And MUFC, they have a lot of
Puck is in some trouble, but he will at least be able to take down, maybe not actually, Light Strike Ray. He won't be able to kill off the Kunkka. Maybe the flare comes in if the Clockwork gets it, but the boat flies first. Ling will still go down. The boat and the Light Strike Ray stun up on the Clockwork, and the flare will only harass rather than killing off people. It's a 1-for-1 trade in favor of MUFC. Puck kinda not expecting the gank to come from the north.
Yeah, that was a good movement coming out by MUFC. I mean, I was about to mention that there's actually a nice ward in the mid lane for the night vision, but MUFC is still sneaky. I think they smoked even. I'm not sure
Yeah,
right now.
they did.
Oh, okay. So yeah, using the advantage of the smoke and getting a kill on Puck really crucial as well. Kind of delaying his blink, but he's going for 2 null talismans. So his blink would have been delayed anyway, but yeah, all bottom lane. Looks like they want to go Hunter's player.
Yeah, we already have the Puck sitting around. There goes the Impale. They want to go for the silence as well, but they need the vision. They don't have the vision. Oh, hello. There's a silence. That's the vision. And that's gonna be one Weaver time-lapsing. That's what he does. BZ stuns himself. In comes the Light Strike Array. Puck in some trouble perhaps. Has to run. Has to fly. Actually does fly fast enough by the looks of it. When the Weaver is still looking for a pickup, but the Hand of God will come in to save the Alchemist. And that's the gank failed. But tell me why. I think they waited too long. Could BCZ not get in range for the stun? It looked like he was in range to me.
Yeah, it was pretty close, I guess, but not sure why they really want to gank this Weaver so desperately without any vision. I mean, they were completely reliant on getting the silence off of Puck. So maybe wait another time, and Puck in the meantime blows the ultimate on the mid lane.
And is able to get away from the gank here in the mid, or at least from the attempt for FC to make something happen here. But FC, after getting in on the action just a moment ago, of course killing the Puck, he is doing okay-ish again. He's not really doing amazingly well, but he's definitely no longer that far behind. He is actually on par with the Alchemist in terms of farm. That's not something to be proud about, but still. There goes the silence up on Kunkka. Is actually with that haste rune. He might be able to chase in. Comes to TP. Expert spot as well. Shadow Demon is the one to TP in. Puck, he is the one to die. And that is a good kill and a free kill also for Winter to take, because he was the one to take it in the meantime on the top lane. That's gonna be too fucking good dying. Got hooked, got cogged, couldn't escape. Test of fate there from the Chen, who finally made it out of the jungle. And a kill going the way of Tell Me Why.
Oh, that's too bad for Tell Me Why, because Doxia just bought, well, he spent every gold in his pocket, so he didn't lose too much out of that one. But in the mid lane, yeah, Puck completely over-aggressive. Not sure why he played that aggressive, especially since he saw a TP coming. Well, even without the TP, FZ probably would have gotten the kill, but yeah, playing a bit overly aggressive.
Yeah, I do like the team, or Tell Me Why, is trying to make a lot more happen than previous game. And they know what they did wrong then, which was not having anything in the mid game, and they're making a change. Though their Alchemist is not really ready to fight, and he probably wants to have still Shadow Blade before he's actually able to do anything at all. The rest of their heroes try to create advantages, try to create space. Their Clockwork is doing really nice, 1200 gold in his inventory, and actually TPs come in. The tower will still end up going down though, but maybe they can get a kill. Upper gonna be the first one. Torrent is there, Hand of God is not used, but he still manages to save the Clockwork by sending him home. In the meantime, the next assassin kills off the Lina on the bottom lane, and that was a kill for Tell Me Why. So across the board, a trade. But the tower going the way of Tell Me Why, not too bad.
Yeah, and next assassin hits level 6 out of this, so a really important kill for him. Just hitting this crucial level. And now the supports from the MUFC, they have to be careful because they're rather squishy, especially... Oh, actually, I was about to say that Winter's low level, but he's actually level 6 now.
Nice courier pick off by the Puck here, who was able to scout it out. Let's see what it had in him. It had the they had the items for the Darkseer, so too fucking good. We knew that he bought the mechanism, or at least yeah, he bought the mechanism when he was dying, but still it gets delayed regardless of if he bought it or not. So 3 minutes until the mechanism is up on MUFC.
Well, yeah, usually I'd say if an item is on the courier, that's really horrible, but right now they're not really looking to push 5 men anyway, or looking for a big team fight. What they're doing is kind of good. They're split pushing here and there, putting a lot of farm on Hunt Trash player, or Scrutinize bottom, and going for ganks with the Kunkka with his 2 supports, so... Losing the mech at this point is not too bad, but of course losing the courier and the gold giving away to TMY, that's not what you want to have.
Yeah, and MUFC, I mean, like you said, they're in no rush. They've got 2 cores with the Weaver and the Kunkka, and they're up against someone that only has 1 core. And that is, of course, the Alchemist. And even though, you know, Alchemist overall should farm faster because of their Grievel's Greed, he is shut down so hard that he offers no threat yet whatsoever.
Yeah, and because of the laning situation, he had to go for 2 levels in Acid Spray, and of course max the Concussion, which is a really nice spell. But there's some Grievel's Greed so far. and his farm is not really impressive. I mean, it's still okay, and of course an Alchemist can always come back, but if MUFC keeps the pressure up like this, they can definitely keep him down for at least another 10 to 20 minutes.
Yeah, oh, Alchemist gonna try to find the stun, gets it as well, but has to back out afterwards. Of course, the ward was there, he walked right past it. He's gonna get chased down. I don't think they can get there in time anymore, though. No disruption coming off for MUFC.
Yeah, I think there was a slight mistake by TFG. I mean, he saw him coming. If he had just run back and let him stun himself, they could have counter-initiated.
Yeah, for sure.
But this way, TMY can reassemble, and now Clockwork is in play as well.
Yep, they want to have the tower. There's 5 people here from MUFC. Have to be careful. Hookshot in. Finds FC. There comes the stun as well, but the disruption keeps him safe for a little while longer, and it is Kite that takes a ton of damage. Hand of God will keep him safe. That is gonna be Kunkka still dead though. Dream Coil up on one. Darkseer is gonna be the one. He does still have a surge, tries to use it, but won't be able to escape. 2 kills going the way of the Radiant team. Tell me why. They stopped their tier 1 tower from dying. They will be able to deny it even. And they take 2 kills home with that. 2 important ones as well. Darkseer and the Kunkka. They might not have killed off the Weaver just yet, but it's still a good fight for them.
Yeah, and we talked about how MUFC is not in a rush. But still, they kind of forced the issue at this bottom lane, and if they had a mech, that would have been a completely different story, but this time around they lost 2 core players, Darkseer and the Kunkka, and they lose a tier 1 bottom. And yeah, this puts TMY back on the map, especially the Alchemist, who was involved in all those kills, and he has a Shadow Blade now.
Yeah, and
if he wants to buy it.
And there goes the tower. We saw that Hunter's player was actually looking at maybe getting the last hit on the tower still, but wasn't able to get it in the end, and the tower gets denied. So tell me why now who don't have their 2 tier 1 outer towers anymore, still have the tier 1 mid, of course, which is the most important one in terms of strategical positioning. And the towers are actually even right now, so all the tier 1s on the outer lanes for MUFC down as well, and those were actually also a right click, so no deny. So it's gonna be, tell me why, that is slightly ahead because of that. In terms of gold, we see that as well. They're actually 3k gold ahead, 4k experience, 5k experience. And their lineup right now is actually working out okay-ish. Of course, they never really had to deal with the Weaver just yet. Weaver has not been involved in any of the kills, any of the fights, and hasn't died yet, hasn't got any assist yet. And he is still going to be an annoying hero to deal with. So once MUFC decides, you know what, we're going to start 5-manning, that's going to be when Tell Me Why is going to be having to be put to the test. But for now, they're doing okay.
Yeah, and their positioning in the last team fight was good as well. I think the boat only went out on the Clockwork and the Alchemist, so Puck not getting hit by that boat and being able to use his ultimate on, I think, at least 3 heroes was kind of nice. And if they keep it up, being really well positioned like this, they can definitely win those team fights, because they themselves have actually quite the... They have potential in those team fights as well. Of course, Puck is a really great team fight hero. Concussion deals a lot of damage, and you can always heal back up with Chen, and who has almost a mech. So they're looking not too shabby.
Not at all. Kind of curious to see how they are going to try to continue to keep this advantage going, though, because, I mean, as we already said, 2 cores for MUFC. They probably know that they're slightly behind, but I don't think they're very worried yet. Actually, they're going to try to make a gank happen again. They're walking with smoke past some wards, also sentry wards there, but you don't see that unless you actually have your camera on that. So, MUFC looking good, perhaps able to save their Weaver, because that's going to be a Vendetta kill right here. No, Weaver dead. In comes the supports. Can they make something happen is the question. There's the disruption. In comes the stun from the Alchemist, and that's going to be up on Alina. By Alina, 2 kills going the way of Tell Me Why, and the Cogs, and Winter goes down as well, and that is 3 kills on the side of MUFC.
Yeah, and and TMY can now push this bottom lane. There's nothing's going to stop them. I mean, of course, Kunkka and Darkseer can spam their spells, but I think they should be able to get this tower, or at least deal a lot of damage to it. And MUFC, I guess the movement, the idea behind it was really nice, but in the end, I think the 2 supports just should have TP'd out or just immediately rotated back out as soon as they saw that Weaver was dead.
Yeah, MUFC, I mean, they're not really in good shape here. TFG gets stunned up, won't be able to stay alive though. In comes the boat, trying to help out. Laguna Blade already up on the Nyx, who runs away from this Weaver vacuum there. Darkseer will as well. Weaver will still be able to pick up the kill. Demonic Purge up on the Clockwork as well. And the Light Strike Array, they should be able to pick that one up as well. All of a sudden, they take it back. Darkseer still ends up going down, and actually, Lina dies as well. Multi-kills all around. As the mechanism gets used by Upper, who's fighting the Weaver. That's not a really good fight for him to take. He will end up dying. There we go. Triple kill for Huntress player on his Weaver. And that is also a triple kill for the Puck, who was able to pick up the Shadow Demon on the end, back end of the fight. But they do take the tower. They end up trading fairly evenly. 4 versus 4, I believe it was. Puck the only one not dying on the side of Tell Me Why, and Weaver the only one not dying on the side of MUFC.
Did Alchemist actually die?
I
didn't.
No, he didn't. Never, my bad. He just TP'd
Yeah.
out and decided, you know what, I don't want to be here anymore, I want to farm. And he goes top to farm. He hasn't died yet the entire game. He's got 2,900 gold, actually.
Yeah, so this trade was really good for them. And
Yeah.
Alchemist, look at the net worth. I mean, he's now leading. And we did mention that he had not that good of a start, but as a normal Alchemist, of course, he pulled up ahead. And now he's sitting on 3k gold again. Can go for anything he likes. Should probably go for the AC because his team really needs it. Especially the Clockwork who goes in Rambo anyway. He needs to be a bit more tankier, and it looks like he's going for the BKB, I guess. Oh, TFG.
Oh. Impale missed, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter one bit. Hookshot that hit, boat comes in, tries to make something happen, but this is just a Kuka running for his life. Nothing to see here. Move along.
Yeah, I gotta say, TM-wise movement a lot better from MUFC right now. MUFC, they kind of seem puzzled as to what they should be doing, and now they're looking to farm the Ancients together. This is something I really like. It's not used by many teams, just farming the Ancients, even though you don't have a natural Ancient carry, like a Gyrocopter or an Alchemist that can farm those Ancients quite fast. But yeah. Getting some XP out of it, some gold as well, and this Weaver, he really needs his Lincoln Sphere.
He really does. He is actually quite close to it, but for a Weaver that has been free farming on the lane, I mean, his farm is not bad by any means. It's still a bit far away, or a bit way away. Never mind. He already has most of it right now. That's actually complete. Wow, what am I saying? He had the recipe in the query. I didn't know that.
Didn't see that either. So.
Well, he has the Lincoln, so that's it. That's Huntress player being able to be more involved in fights. Of course, he can now dodge some of the stuns that come out, some of the disables that he has been having troubles with. And Tell Me Why has not lost a game with Chen nor Clockwork. Wow. They are actually doing really well this game as well. And this comes down to what we said during the draft. Like, if you're just going to play your signature heroes, regardless if they have good synergy or not, but you know how to play those and you just make it work, then you don't need synergy, and you just have just a brilliant play to begin with, and that's what they're seemingly doing here. They're making it work for them, getting more map control with all of their heroes. Nice individual play. I do like this Puck as well. I mean, he's been very active. He of course won that mid lane quite handily. Is almost has his Scythe of Vice ready as well. And in the meantime, we have Weaver going on the Alchemist. That's gonna be already him gone though.
Yeah, and playing with those heroes that you're really comfortable with is especially important when you have a stand-in. Obviously, I don't know if the stand-in has been playing with them for longer than a usual stand-in, or if he's just here for the best of 3. But in general, giving the stand-in the hero he wants or the hero he really can play is really important.
Yeah, not just assigning him a role that he is filling in, but just asking what are you most comfortable with, because he's already gonna miss. Normally, at least, the synergy that he normally has, that you normally have with your team. As you said, we don't know really how often he actually plays together with Tell Me Why, but that's an important factor to take note of. We're gonna have our Clockwork almost having a BKB ready, just needs the recipe for it. In the meantime, FC also building a BKB, already has the phase boots and the drums, so that's his early fighting potential there. But we see their early fighting potential not really, shining. They are waiting. They want to fight. We know that they do, but they're just waiting for Tell Me Why to make a mistake, and then they'll go in. Maybe if their positioning is not really on par, but their positioning has been really good this fight. In come the tornadoes from the Chen. Wild Wing Rippers, what we were saying again, from them not being useful. 3 tornadoes.
Okay, 3 tornadoes is actually, for pushing purposes, it's actually quite nice and really annoying.
Really annoying, yes. Oh, no, that's gonna be one of the most annoying things to deal with. Slowing you down as well. In comes a vacuum. BKB turned on the Alchemist though, looking for a target. Finds a double stun on the supports. will be taking out Winter first. That's 1 down. That's 2 down. Boat flies in. FC stuck inside the cogs. Hand of God keeps everybody of Tell Me Why alive a little while longer. Nice impale coming up on FC, and he goes down. That's 3 dead on the side of MUFC. Nobody lost yet on the side of Tell Me Why, and they will take this tower and force the rest of MUFC back to try and do some other useful things. Darkseer, too fucking good. He has got that blink dagger, but he was not able to make it work to its full potential. Not by himself anyway. I mean, you gotta imagine the big team fight potential that MUFC has is the vacuum into the torrent, into the boat, into the light strike array. And that's, you know, that's a good combination if you have that. But the vacuum was only on the alchemist, and he popped his BKB straight afterwards. So then you're kind of useless as a Darkseer for a while because you need your vacuum, and it's got quite a long cooldown.
Yeah, and I don't know, I usually like the blink initiation on Darkseer. I really like to see it. Or, like, if they buy it. Oh, looks like they want to re-engage.
No, they're letting it slide, I think. Oh, there's the link, it's already popped, and the Hex straight afterwards. That's going to be a disruption, keeping the Weaver actually safe for a little while, and he's able to time-lapse out of it. It is MUFC that's trying to make something out of this fight. They take down the Chen. They still lose their Lina, but they might be able to pick off more still. Nyx should probably run after seeing his teammates fall in battle, or does he run? No, he doesn't. He goes for an impale, actually blocked by the Lincolns. There still goes Akunka. BZ has already used his second BKB charge, looking for the next one. Scrutinized, finding a pick off, looking for the Nyx assassin who was able to help pick off the, or trying to save the clockwork actually. Oh, that's gonna be a fight that's not gonna be, oh, Nyx, no, you're not gonna live through that. BZ was still able to get a double kill though, tip down the Shadow Demon as well, so nice pickoffs by MUFC, still losing quite heavily for it though. I mean, losing their Kunkka really, I mean, he is 0-6-8.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, that guy is doing really poorly. And usually you want to go for the Shadow Blade, extra damage, but he's forced to buy BKB and he's very far from it anyway, so not the best game for him.
No, and now we have got this, like, as we said at the start, you've got your duo core versus a solo core. At the start, it was Alchemist shut down heavily, so then the duo core looked to be in favor. But now, we actually have an Alchemist that was able to live through being shut down, and now he has his Assault Cuirass about ready. And that will be, will be a fight. The tower already went down mid-tier 1, so that's going to be something that Huntress player was able to pick up. Extra gold for him, and he's actually going for an MKB by the looks of it. But the Weaver is the only one that's really doing the work right now from UFC. Kunkka has kind of been reduced to someone who lands boats and torrents and X-marked spots and such. But in terms of damage, he doesn't really have that much just yet. He died twice in the previous fights, and I mean, he didn't really get that much experience from it either. He's level 14, which is of the cores the lowest. Not counting Clockwork nor Darkseer as a core right then, but I mean, everybody else is level 16, he's level 14.
Yeah, he's really far behind, and again, he really has to buy that BKB because he's, I mean, he has 1.8k HP, and usually you wouldn't say squishy, but he dies really fast.
He does. Here comes a flare, scouting out where everybody of MUFC is at. And of course the flare came from the north, so that will be also MUFC realizing something's wrong. They try to go for the Alchemist, but he pops his BKB, looking for the stun for someone. Can't find it anymore, and that's going to be a BKB charge wasted. I think that MUFC is going to be happy with this. They might actually wait it out and then just go in, but it is already too late. Tell Me Why realizes that right now, without a BKB on BZ, they can't really make it happen the way they wanted to, so they'll just settle for buildings instead. Tier 2 tower top.
Yeah, and I think MUFC is going to trade the tier 2 for Roche, and I think this is a smart trade. Even though BKB is down, TMY still has most of their spells up, so they can definitely fight this. And MUFC, if they pick up Roche right now, they can defend all the bases and maybe push themselves, push the tower themselves. So
do they have enough damage though? Because of course MUFC, they just got scouted out by the flare, looking for the hook shot, waiting for the hook shot. Waiting for everybody else to be there first. Here comes the orb in. Maybe not. In comes the hook shot still. There goes Roshan. It is the Aegis that got picked up by the Weaver still. Roshan also down for the Dire. Dreamcoil is going to be there. The Clockwork already died. Nyx Assassin dies as well. MUFC, they're taking it back. And they are winning this fight. Looking for upper. Surge up. Disruption is on cooldown though. Can't find anybody. We'll continue going on BZ. BZ who turns on a BKB again. Kills off Too fucking good, looking for more targets, but won't be able to find more apart from the Weaver who just got back up. Because that is the Aegis, of course, Burns gonna end up stunning himself. No, he's gonna find the Weaver. Oh my god, that will be something that is ending up as a win. I mean, yeah, they lost 3 heroes for that, but they gained 2 and an Aegis.
And they got the tier 2 top.
And they got the tier 2 top. Overall, it's probably the best that you can hope for after your enemy just took down Roche. Even though they, of course, tried to take it for themselves, but that didn't really work out as intended.
Yeah, maybe Team White could have gotten a better trade if they had stuck together. They kind of went in one by one.
Yeah.
But overall, it wasn't too bad. At first, it looked really horrible, but Alchemist, of course, the cleanup crew, and he might go for another kill, but no, he's not going to be in range.
No, and of course, this is something like the fight looked in favor of MUFC for, you know, at the start. 3 were dead on the side of. Tell me why nobody was dead on the side of MUFC. In comes BZ. And down goes MUFC. They just took 2 kills with an Aegis as well, just by purely having an Alchemist and a Chen still around. Those were the only 2 that hadn't died, and that's a pretty big thing.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And this Weaver's, as you mentioned, going for the MKB. Not sure why. I think Desolator would be much more useful, especially bursting down the Chen. At this point, I think MUFC, they have to get rid of the Chen immediately. I mean, he has been in almost every fight, but usually he's the one of the last to survive, and he's always able to get off at least 1 mech. I think he even got 2 mechs in the prior fight, so they really have to get rid of him. But his positioning is really good. So, and as you can see, and on Music's stat, picking up the Vlad's as his 3rd core item has never lost in Chen a game.
Yeah, that's pretty scary stats from UFC. And of course, having that Vlad's also helps Alchemist a ton. That's adding more armor. So yeah, Desolator, I wouldn't mind seeing that one up on the Weaver. But then I guess after his MKB, Alchemist in the meantime has got, of course, his Assault Grasp, but now also has a Basher. So that's starting to look extra scary. He's not fully decked out just yet, but he is getting there. And they're gonna try to fight mid first. Of course, I mean, the more. Like, he is still very tanky, and like, who's gonna do enough damage to take him down? Weaver is gonna try, but Desolator would then be better for him to try. I mean, MKB definitely not bad, don't get me wrong. But they need a lot on him. They need that Soul Catcher on him almost every time as well. Tier 3 tower, as good as that, will be taken down. Torrent will still be there. BKB's turned on. They get a nice cog up on FC, who tries to get out. Still landed the boat. There comes the Hand of God. Looking for more people to take down, but everybody of MUFC being careful with their positioning. Now a vacuum into the Darkseer wall. Impale goes off on the Darkseer, but they don't go in on it. And they go in on the Dream Coil. They go in on the Kunkka. Lina already went down. Disruption will keep Winter safe for a little while longer. Might be able to escape to his base. Don't think it's gonna happen, or is it? He is safe. He is home safe. Home safe indeed, but he is forced into his base, and of course that leaves only the Weaver to try and defend his Rex, but Weaver dies as well. Buys back, but he can't really do that much. With this buyback, he might be able to help MUFC with not giving the Radiant team a chance to go for more, but if they lose this fight, they actually will. They go back in. They go back in. Are able to force them away, though.
Yeah, they might go for a pickoff here, but I'm not sure if they can actually get KYT. Nah, he should be fine.
Well, in comes BZ, though.
But yeah, this was really unfortunate. Weaver TP'd in, got immediately bursted. He used his ultimate, and he TP'd, or he time-lapsed back towards the bottom lane. And then he had to walk all the way back.
So that's... I was wondering, like, wow, it's taking him a long time to get here. That's very...
Yeah, he had to walk, like, this way back, and it took him a really long time to get back.
Disruption. Winter. Safe. 1 hit, 2 hit, and a Test of Faith. That's 1. Shadow Demon on the floor. Gem picked up by Too Fucking Good. As a loot. We have got a hookshot in upon Ling. That's Ling dead as well. Alchemist with the monster kill streak. Alchemist who hasn't died yet, who is 8 for 0 for 10. And MUFC.
This is another set of racks, because without the Shadow Demon and Lina, it's not that easy to actually defend, especially Shadow Poison is nice, the Disruption of course, and...
Just the disables that they
Exactly.
bring. What other disables do they have? They have a Torrent. You can vacuum Torrent boat still, which is nice. But there's a lot of BKBs. They get FC already. That's a stun coming off from BZ, and that's gonna be... I mean, this Alchemist is just on fire. Abyssal Blade
GG
helping
is
out. The
called.
GG is called. That will mean that we will see a game number 3. Tell me why. Proves all you batters wrong. Well, not all, because 15% was right? Or 15 people were right.
Yeah.
Shout out to
that's-
those 15 people for being right. Tell me why we'll have a game 3 up against MUFC to prove that they are the ones worthy to make it through the quarterfinals of the AMD Premier League second season. MUFC, tell me why. Casted by me, Sheever, co-caster, Skim, and of course, not really casting, but still a very important factor to the cast, to the broadcast, I should then say. It is Music who was providing you with all the stats. So we're waiting to see when the throne explodes, and we'll be having a Divine Rapier just to give people a little bit more items. Buck with the Divine when the game ends. Always nice to see. Let's see what Tell Me Why has to say in the second game, and I am ashamed that I was so wrong about their draft. It worked out for them.
Same here, man. Same here. I'm also ashamed.
Yep, we don't have faith. We just don't have faith. I think hereby we are proven that we should always have faith in the underdogs.
I will have faith next game.
I definitely will have faith as well, because that would be a big upset to have happen, and you know, everybody wants to vote for the underdogs, wants to see a Cinderella story come to life. But let's see if they can make that happen in the third game of the series. Tell me why. MUFC AMD Premier League Season 2 coming up in just a moment.